excited and grateful to be here with all of you. I must say, after everything we've just seen at the Republican convention this past week, being here with you on this beautiful day is truly like a breath of fresh air. When I look out at all of you, you know what I see? I see America's future. Instead of the fear and the anger and the resentment, the lack of any solutions to help working families get ahead or keep our country safe, I sense the confidence, the optimism that, you know what, we are stronger together and we're going to make that future better. Donald Trump may think America is in decline, but he's wrong. America's best days are still ahead of us, my friends. And when he says, as he did say, I alone can fix it, he's not only wrong, he's dangerously wrong. We Americans, we solve problems together. And if Donald doesn't understand that, he doesn't understand America. I know that no one does anything all alone. And part of our challenge is to make sure we do work together. I'm looking forward to working with your elected officials. I want to thank Senator Bill Nelson, who was with me yesterday in Orlando and Tampa. I want to thank Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And I'm looking forward to working with her and with Congresswoman Federica Wilson and Congressman Elsie Hastings. And I want to thank all the elected officials from all levels of government who are here and supporting our campaign and our vision for the country. Now, next week in Philadelphia, we will offer a very different vision for our country, one that is about building bridges, not walls, embracing the diversity that makes our country great, lifting each other up, standing together, because we know there's nothing we can't accomplish once we make up our minds. And that's why I am so thrilled to announce that my running mate is a man who doesn't just share those values, he lives them. I have to say that Senator Tim Kaine is everything Donald Trump and Mike Pence are not. He is qualified to step into this job and lead on day one. And he is a progressive who likes to get things done. That's just my kind of guy, Tim. We both grew up in the Midwest. We were raised by fathers who ran small businesses and who taught us about the dignity of work and the discipline of a job well done. And in both of our families, faith wasn't just something you talked about at church on Sundays. It was a call to serve others in every way that we can. And as you get to know Senator Kaine, you will see that Tim's lifelong commitment to social justice is a shining example of his faith in action. You know, during law school, when his fellow classmates were taking internships at prestigious law firms, he took time off to work with missionaries in Honduras. And after he graduated from Harvard Law School, he could have done anything, but instead, he chose to become a civil rights lawyer. One of his first cases was a pro bono case representing a woman who was denied an apartment because she was African American. So while Tim was taking on housing discrimination and homelessness, Donald Trump was denying apartments to people who were African American. He is still fighting those battles today, serving as a nonpartisan city council member and then the mayor of Richmond, Virginia. He worked hard to bridge racial divides. He built the first new schools in a generation. He helped turn that struggling city around. And as governor of Virginia, he led the Commonwealth through the worst financial crisis in a generation. What did he do? He brought Democrats and Republicans together to protect the programs that working families count on. And while Mike Pence slashed education funding in Indiana and gave more tax cuts to the wealthiest, Tim Kaine cut his own salary and invested in education from pre-K through college and beyond. And by the time Tim left office, 40% more of Virginia's kids were enrolled in early education programs. And then, as a United States Senator, Tim has used his positions on the Foreign Relations and Armed Services Committees to stand up for our veterans and our values and our men and women in uniform and our security. Now, there's no doubt in my mind, because I'm here with him, that Tim is so qualified to be vice president and, as I have said many times, the most important qualification when you are trying to make this really big choice is, can this person step in to be president? Well, at every stage of Tim's career, the people who know him best have voted to give him a promotion. And that's because he fights for the people he represents, and he delivers real results. Now, I can't wait for all of you to get to know him the way that I have, the proud father of 3 grown-up kids, who have their own lives and are making their own contributions, including serving our country. A loving husband of a brilliant wife who is a great fighter for progressive causes in her own right. The leader who cares more about making a difference than making headlines. And make no mistake, behind that smile, Tim also has a backbone of steel. Just ask the NRA. Over and over again, he has had the courage to stand up to the gun lobby in their own backyard. After the horrible Virginia Tech shooting, he signed an executive order to keep guns out of the hands of those who were deemed severely mentally ill. And he has fought for common sense gun reform across the country, as we saw just a few weeks ago when he joined the 15-hour Senate filibuster, asking that we get those reforms done. So, when I say he's a progressive who likes to get things done, I mean it. He's not afraid to take on special interests, whether he's calling for tough regulations on payday lending or fighting back against attacks on Planned Parenthood and defending women's right to make our own health decisions. Tim has led on some of the most important issues facing our country, from voting rights to LGBT equality, to criminal justice reform, to comprehensive immigration reform. Now, after last week, I probably don't need to say this, but I will. This is one of the most consequential elections in our lifetimes. When someone says, "I alone can fix it," that should set off alarm bells in not just Democrats' minds, but Republicans, independents, people of all ages and backgrounds. That is not a democracy. I said yesterday in Tampa, we fought a revolution because we didn't want one man making all the decisions for us. And besides, it is just nonsense. No one does anything alone. We don't have a one-person military. We don't have a one-person teaching corps. We don't have one doctor and one nurse who fixes everything, do we? We work together. That is what has traditionally set us apart from places that have turned to single leaders, despots, dictators, authoritarians who have promised people, "I can fix it alone." You know what that says about us? That somehow we're helpless? We can't do this work that needs to be done in America ourselves? That we can't reach out to one another? That we can't make the economy work for everyone, not just those at the top? I reject that. I reject that. And next week, starting on Monday, In Philadelphia, you're going to see a very different kind of vision. So I wanted to come here to Miami. I wanted to come here to introduce you to the person that I just can't think of anybody better to have by my side on the campaign trail in the White House. Together we are going to take on the challenges that are hurting Americans. We are going to give the middle class a raise. We are going to give tax relief to working families to help with the rising costs of raising kids. We are going to create more good jobs. We're going to make sure every child in America has the chance to live up to his or her God-given potential. So please, join us. Join us. Take out your phone right now. Text JOIN to 47246 or go to hillaryclinton.com because we are hiring organizers right here in Florida right now. So be involved in every way that you can because together we're going to win this election and move our country forward. Please join me in welcoming the next Vice President, my friend, Senator Tim Kaine.